go. A little story about myself and how I got started. Man, I can tell you, I failed so many times, like it's unbelievable. I started several companies with amazing products, but I could never figure out how to get over the hill. To start, I always wanted to be my own boss. I never thought of waking up and having someone else tell me what to do and, the best way for me to spend my time. I just never thought that was, I just didn't think that's what life was about. So, never really wanted to work for anyone else. So, always had a hustle. My first business was picking up trash at my neighbor's doors and walking it to the trash can. I charged $5 a month and I picked it up twice a week. No millionaire, but hey, I was on my way, right? After graduating high school, I started a mobile car wash that allowed me to open up a retail car wash in my small town. After a few years and a lack of guidance, I had to close it down. So I had a failure, a couple of them actually, but that was one of the first ones that really made me open my eyes. Next, I went to work at a car dealership selling cars. I learned a lot about how crooks work. I mean, this guy, little did I know, he was taking in people's cars in on trade and not paying them off for months and months and months. Needless to say, shut him down, and I kind of lost my job there. But before all that happened, I actually left, and my next venture was selling mobile homes across the street from the car dealership. This is when my real education started on how not to run a business. If you've ever worked in a shady place, then you know what goes on. Okay. It just is part of it. While working there, I watched a video on how to buy and sell houses and real estate. And I must have watched that video 100 times. And all I saw were people saying that I did it. I bought this house. I sold this house. I made all this profit and so forth. And I was like, well, you know what? Those guys are doing it out there. So I wanted to learn more about it, but I only had, one video that I could watch. So, I had to figure out how to find a mentor. And the place I was working at, unfortunately, although they were good people, they just, money always wins at the end of the day, and some financial decisions, they just weren't able to do what was right. So I needed to leave. I needed to get out of there. Well, you know what? I thought if those people can buy and sell houses, then I could too. So the very next day after I watched that video, I went and quit my job, and I found the only house flipper in my town and offered to work for free to learn more about flipping houses. Well, I thought I had met two crooks before, but I had no idea what I was in for. Although this person was the worst, he did teach me the ins and outs of flipping houses. By the time I was 22, I'd bought two houses for flipping. Almost from the date that I met him, both those houses were foreclosed. This guy had a saying, you can shear a sheep many times, but you can only slaughter him once. Well, guess what? I become a sheep. So now I've met three crooks in my first 5 years of trying to work a job or figuring out a new hustle. Well, with my life and my credit being destroyed, I felt like I could still work in a real estate and make a lot of money. But at this time, the internet was just getting started. Do you remember that awful dial-up sound? That what I'm talking about? I recall getting excited because for the first time, I could learn how to become a real estate titan without having to deal with so many crooked people. I could go out and I could find other people that I could pick and choose the information when I was ready for it and implement it in my business. So I started searching how I could help people refinance their mobile home. If even if the land was not attached. So if you're not familiar with that, you can buy technically a mobile home and you can place it somewhere and rent the land that it sits on. Well, this was awesome because I learned that most people had a higher payment due to them not owning their land, or they just had a higher interest rate because their credit may not have been as good when they purchased that home. So I called the company and I asked that I found on the internet if they would pay me to send them customers. And the guy was like, yeah. And the guy said, also, if you'll help me sign the paperwork and get the pictures of the mobile homes, that he would pay me more. I was ecstatic, $500 per loan. So in my mind, I was like, man, I'm doing one a day. I'll make $500 a day. I got a six-figure income. Life will be great, right? Well, then 9/11 hit shortly after I learned this side hustle. And I can remember being so excited about my new venture, but I didn't have a clue about what would happen after 9/11. Lucky for me that once a few months had went by, they had dropped some interest rates. The economy picked up and I was able to start helping people lower their payments on their new homes. Well, now that I have an amazing idea to get me back in the game, I needed to find more customers, right? So I found one or two. I'd made a little bit of money, and I was like, oh my God, how do I get 100 customers? I want to make this money every day. Well, at the time, I didn't have a car, so I would ride my bicycle to the next town. It was about 10 miles away. I would go to the local mobile home dealers, and I would ask them could look at their old sales files and find customers that had high interest rates. And I told the dealer that I would help, previous customers, save money on their home in exchange for the customer writing a referral list of people who would buy mobile homes. So I would get people that wanted their home refinanced and get a lower payment to give me 10 names and numbers of their friends that would like to buy a mobile home. Mobile home dealer was excited. I was able to get someone that needed to refinance and get a lower payment, so I made money. Life was great. Well, during this time, I was able to buy a cheap Lexus and actually get my mortgage license. This was a game changer for me. For the next few months, I helped people refinance their actual homes, like a physical stick-built home that is attached to the property. I'd help them refi their home and made some money. I even made enough money to partner up with someone on my very first house flip, and the profit on that was $20,000. So I got my initial investment back, and I cleared my profit out the door was 20 grand. So remember, a year or two earlier, I'd went from watching a video of somebody that was just saying they did it, like there was no technical expertise or nothing, just a bunch of people saying, we did it, we did it, we did it. And then a year or two later, I was able to accomplish that myself. Once I brought that check back to my friend, he offered to give me a credit line to buy more homes and fix and sell them. Over the next few years, I was able to build up a $2 million credit line by the time I was in my late 20s. I have bought and sold well over 100 homes since that time frame has started. In 2008, though, my world crashed. I don't know if you guys remember, but well, you wouldn't remember, but my grandfather passed away, and he lost his life to medical complications. I also found out that my grandmother had breast cancer all in 1 year. And on top of that, my very successful house flipping business stopped because of the big crash. So it was a very bad time for me. And if you're old enough to know the 2008 market crashed and business was not the same after that, during this time in my 20s, all I did was chase girls and the next party. And needless to say, the lifestyle I lived wasn't helping me save any money. You find out who you are whenever you lose everything, right? So at this point, I'd kind of found a low point, and my skill set I couldn't really implement because I'd lost my credit lines. Nobody was, all the houses were being foreclosed and nobody wanted to buy them because there was nobody that wanted to live in them, or nobody could afford the payments and so on. So, I'd lost everything. I lost my grandfather, found out my grandmother had breast cancer, and, I had to find a new me. I had to find a new Michael. Well, I knew that all of these events would not hold me back. The pain and the hurt could only be replaced with being the best at whatever I decided to do. Before my grandfather passed, I was able to spend an entire year in the hospital with him. I remember him telling me that of everyone in the family, he never knew that I would be the one that would drop everything and stay with him every night by his side. He told me that my dedication to others will lead me to accomplish amazing things. And I firmly believe that, some of the stuff that he instilled in me helped me because he was there and for guidance and, not always criticism, but, he would listen and, so forth. And, he always told me, he said, be good to others, help others, and he was that nature himself. So I greatly appreciate him for that. Now, every time you fail, you're going to get back up. It's going to happen. You're going to find a struggle. You're going to find a flaw. You're going to find something that holds you back momentarily. But hey, you're going to have that big yeehaw moment, right? Everybody has it. Like, oh my God, I wish I'd have thought of this, or I wish I'd known this, or I wish I'd have seen this in my past because this is what I really want to do. And that was marketing. It took me a while to realize that a product will always be a product. But marketing is how all products are sold, and profit is. You can't sell it if you don't first tell someone it's for sale. With that simple but powerful idea, I dove in. I started with a really cool idea on how to get people to visit a website. The idea was simple. If I told you your picture was on starbucks.com, would you immediately go and see what it looks like? Of course you would. Human nature to know more about our image and where it's at and why it is there. It's very powerful to us. So I created these photo booths, but cooler stands that offered free pictures. If I can get you to give me your picture, I can get you to visit my website. My goal was to get as many emails as I could from this simple idea. It was a hit at all the nightclubs. We took over 500,000 pictures and had over 1 million image views. That sounds really cool, right? Like, oh my God, 1 million image views. Like, you must have got rich off of that. Nah, this business had some major flaws. I didn't know how to buy more picture stands or have the money for them. The average machine was $5,000, and I had to take on partners and investment just to get the first five. No way I was going to double my locations with no cash flow. If you fail, you have to learn more from the people that have done it before, and that's what I did. So I failed, so I started learning. So I started taking all the free online courses and started investing in myself. This is when I knew my big breakthrough would happen. I realized that selling products that are high ticket or even low ticket requires a coach. You must be willing to learn something new, or the road can cost you a lot of time and money. If only I had an honest coach in the beginning, I could have avoided all of the lost time and money. Hiring a coach paid off. After 10 years of building online ads that have earned millions in sales, collecting tens of thousands of applications without hiring new staff, helping clients cut marketing budgets in half, providing leads to sell out multi-million-dollar complexes, millions of dollars in new car sales for 10 consecutive years, helped dozens of people learn and run successful Facebook and Google ads. With all that said, I am so happy that I was able to build an online ad agency. This business is so rewarding, and it has unlimited income potential. Now, let's get started building your online ad agency. Number one, what is marketing? Marketing is how you are able to get products, goods, and services in front of people that have a need for them. The marketing was first started with word of mouth. Someone would get a product or a service and they would be so happy that they would go and then tell a friend. Then we got the printing press, next the radio, and around the 50s, TV ads would take over the marketing game. The 2000s brought us the revolution of the internet and email with the ability to get your message across to millions of people via the computer. Fast forward to a few years later and release of the online community media. The internet has grown, and we live in a time that allows us to reach millions of people while improving the results on the go. Locate a mentor. In order to start any business, you need to find a mentor, someone that has done it before that can offer you guidance. It is much easier when you have someone to bounce ideas off of. How to choose your niche. A niche is a segment or a larger market that can be defined by its own unique needs, preferences, or identity that from the market at large. In other words, if you are a truck driver and your niche is driving a truck, well, it may be that your niche that you know about is driving a truck. So you would be able to then help trucking companies better find employees to drive their trucks, or you may be able to help that trucking company locate better loads that they can carry that are more profitable. So your niche in this scenario would be truck driving. Simply answer the 5 questions and it will become crystal clear which niche is for you. What are you an expert in? Of these, what niches are you most equipped to help people with? Of these, what niches are you most passionate about teaching? What laser focused aspects of your niche are you an expert in? Of these, what are you most equipped to help people with? Now, here are a few examples. What niches are you an expert in? Well, I would consider myself an expert in video production, where I'm able to take a creative idea and I know how to use the camera enough to create enough cool transitions so that it can be put in a cool template and produce something that's cool. Guitar playing. I am not an excellent guitar player, but I know the bass chords and I enjoy doing it. But I'm not really an expert in it. It's just something that I have a little passion for, but I don't pick it up every day and I don't do it enough where I would want to help others with that or make money doing it. Online marketing agency. I would consider myself an expert at online marketing agency, just in the past of what I've been able to accomplish and the results that I can show my potential customers. Truck driving, we talked about that. Are you someone that does that for a living? Are you a plumber? Do you do real estate? What is your niche? What is it that you do the best where you could understand the lingo in that market, where you could help them build ads that can produce results. Of these, what niches are you the most equipped to help people with? I myself, like I said, ad agency, coaching, video production, course creation. Of these, what niche are you the most passionate about teaching? I am most passionate about teaching how to open an ad agency and creating a six-figure income. It's something that I have done. I've got the experience, I've got the knowledge, I've got the tools, I've got the ability, and I love helping people create an ad agency. All right. Also, course creation. That to me is most powerful. It's similar to what you're doing right now, where you take your skill, but you got to create a course for people to be able to attend. What laser focused aspects of your niche are you an expert in? Building online ads, automation. Of these, what are you most equipped to help people with? Coaching how to open an ad agency using automation. Now, what I figured out was I could run ads for people and not really be able to show them really good results, or I can run ads for people and I'm able to show them good results and able to make the sale without them hiring new staff using computer software. So that would be having an ad agency and using automation to be very effective. All right, the bad side of the biz. Everything's got something bad, right? It doesn't matter what it is. There are several niches that I recommend you staying away from. If the customer has no current marketing budget, unfortunately, it's not going to work. You cannot, if they don't already have some level of success, I do not recommend that being the first person you work with, okay? You're going to find the uphill battle is so tremendous. Even though you may want to help them, it's just going to be very hard. Unfortunately, people are in life where they are, and if they haven't already made their hustle profitable and they're not reinvesting in their hustle, there's not a whole lot you're going to be able to do to help them. So if the customer has no current marketing budget, I'd stay away from that. Customers do not seem excited to grow their business. I've met plenty of people that have very successful businesses. They're comfortable where they are. They don't really care if they grow. They will mention that they would like to grow, but at the end of the day, they don't do any work, any research, any homework. They don't do anything. They don't spend money. They just don't try. They just stay where they are. That's great. Stay away from them. The customer does not have any staff to handle the new growth. I've had companies that wanted to grow, that just, they knew and wanted more money. They wanted better lifestyle, so on and so on, but they didn't have any staff or any automation in place to help them grow. If I can't help you double your business in 24 months or a week, whatever the size of the business may be, then I don't know how much longevity we'll have working together, because you don't have the process in place for me to help you. All right. Okay. So curious student, how do you get your first client? Now, there's some things that you need to be a curious student if you want to learn something new. You will want to ask your new client a lot of questions to show your ability to help them. Once you have built an amazing list of wants and needs, you're going to offer your services for free. All you're asking in return is for them to cover the ad expense so they can build trust in your ability and willingness to help their business grow. So I've done this, and this is exactly how I got started. I created a little video. I sent it to a couple of people and said, hey, I'd like to work for you for free if you'll just cover the ad expense. I will get you customers, and I don't want any right now, except once your customer has reached success, here's a few questions that you want to ask them, because we want to try to eventually get a testimony out of them, and I'm going to get into that in just a second. Here are a few good questions to find out if you're a good fit. What is your monthly marketing budget? What is your best selling on that? What is your best selling product? And could you handle doubling your sales with your current staff? Those are the questions you want to ask to find out if you will be a good fit with them. Always set the ground rules. When you find your niche, and you will need to set up the ground rules for your new client. I am willing to run the ads for free. I only need you to cover the ad expense depending on what the customer's desires are. You will pick a daily budget for the ad spend. I recommend a minimum of $20 a day to $600 total for a month. At $20 a day, you should be able to figure out what a lead cost is, and then you'll be able to say, all right, well, if you spent $20 but you sell a product that's $100, you made an $80 profit. So you're easily able to help them determine that they become profitable. All right. So, whenever you do that, you're going to want to get testimonials. Once I'm able to get some results, I will ask you to allow me to record a video of our progress and what we've achieved together. Now, this gentleman here, I've worked with for a long time, and we hit $10 million in sales, year after year, and it's been growing ever since we got together. Although he's camera shy, I was able to get him to take a picture with me because I gave him a really nice pen as a gift for us hitting our goal together. All right. Lifetime value of customers. This is something that'll help you identify the people you're working with and how you can best help them. The lifetime value, the CLV, is a measure of average customer revenue generated over their entire relationship with the company. So let's say I go to the ice cream shop and I buy an ice cream every Monday, and it's a $10 ice cream. Or I'd call it $1. It's $1 ice cream. All right. But I do that every month. So over the year, my lifetime value to that business is $12. Okay. If it cost me $1 to get that customer, I would have made a lifetime value would be $11. Okay. I don't know if that makes sense or not. And I wanted to get a graph on that, but we'll work on that later when we get into more advanced stuff. But lifetime value of customers is very important. Comparing the CLV to the customer acquisition cost is a quick method of estimating a customer's profitability and the business potential for long-term growth. Lifetime value of customers, simplified. What is your total sales for a product? Divide that by how many customers bought a specific product, and you will now have the cost per customer. Lifetime customer value, here's a really cool chart that kind of breaks it down for you. You can simply go through there and see customer lifetime value equals the average order value, the purchase frequency rate, and the average customer lifetime value. All right, now that you've done all this and you've built this, you found this customer, you found your niche, you found your customer, you've developed an avatar of them, a understanding of their business, and you've got them to do a testimonial. Now that you've helped that client get that success, you would need to use that to find other clients in the same niche. Proof of work is very important when you want to start charging customers for your service. So I was able to help many different car dealers, and all of those led to more car dealers. So it's just how it works. They talk and they share and so forth. All right. Now to recap on everything, offer your work for free, help the client get results. Ask for a free review or ask for a review and testimonial about the help you gave them. Promote the reviews to your new clients. It's pretty simple. All right, now I have a bonus offer for you. I'm doing a beta, and the link will be placed in the comments below. And I jumped ahead. But I want to go ahead and thank you guys for your time today. I greatly appreciate it. I may have been a little long-winded, and some of my words didn't match my PowerPoint. I'm sorry about that. We're going to get a little better at our technical stuff and how we go live. But our next video is going to be going over Amazon resellers. And I am not the professional at Amazon reselling, but I recently purchased a course, and I have found it to be extremely helpful. And I'm going to go over what I've learned on Thursday for that course. And then I'll be giving you a link if any of you wanted to go sign up and, take the course with me. I did pay to join, so do anticipate that you will have to spend some money if you want to take that course with me. I don't get the money, they get the money, but we're going to do it together. And then eventually I'll build my own course helping people do the same thing. All right, now I have a bonus offer for you. This is a beta course opportunity. I'm looking for a few people who are willing to move forward and learn a hustle that can earn 6 figures. Yes, I'm willing to take on 6 new students to build a profitable 6-figure side hustle. I only ask that you give me a testimonial so that I can help others with their wants, with their possibilities. All right, click the link in the comments and let's get started and sign up for the beta course. With that, I want to thank you so much. I've been on here for about 26 minutes, and that's typically the length of my attention span. So with that, I greatly appreciate it. Be sure to like, share, comment, give us some feedback. If there's a side hustle that you'd like for me to dig into and get some information on, or if you want to give me a call, reach out to me. Be happy to take on the 6 students right now. Unfortunately, I only have so much time, so I can only help so many people. But the ones that have and are the people that are ready to move forward, I want to help them grow. With that, thank you so much, and I greatly appreciate your time. My name is Michael Fluharty, and I am over and out.